Hey guys, it's DovahNiik here, and this is a little bit different from my bus stop travels, but I've just had a really interesting experience in a group called something about UK stamp collecting. And before you ask why I'm in a group about stamp collecting, Ben and I have this thing where if we ever find each other's phone unlocked, we go on Facebook and randomly add each other to a group. So recently he added me to a satanic group of Satanists, yeah. That was rather unpleasant. And I've added him to a rather riveting group about bridges recently. It was great fun. And I hadn't noticed that Ben had added me to a group about stamp collecting in the UK. I'm not going to give you the exact name because I'm about to call out a few people from what happened next. But it's just stamp collecting in the UK anyway. So I only just noticed that it added me to this group when a few sort of people started posting pictures of stamps and asking if there's any worth to them, were they worth any money on eBay, things like that. And I've been trying to figure out for a few days how to remove myself from this group. And because my phone hadn't updated, I think I must have been using an older version of Facebook. I couldn't find the tab to remove myself. I've checked everything and I couldn't remove it. So I just left it and ignored it. Until one day a man called Henry caught my eye. And only because he'd posted this in entire caps lock. And you know, on the internet, when you post in caps lock, that means you're really annoyed and you're shouting, basically. And dear old Henry posted a massive paragraph about how irate he was that newer members of the stamp collecting group were asking for how much these stamps were worth, and he thought that this was beneath him. You should be enjoying the stamp collecting, not trying to make money from it. And he had put, there are certain members of the group doing this a bit more than others. Certain was in the little asterisks, and I was like, huh, that's a bit angry considering this is stamp collecting. So I sort of hung around a little bit, and I scrolled back a few posts, and there had been, the last person that did this was a lady called Helen, and she'd asked about the price of what I think was a Winnie the Pooh or a Peter Rabbit stamp. Just asked. She's brand new. She said, "Hi, I'm new here. Just found these. Are they worth anything?" And some other people had just kindly put, "No, just a few quid on eBay, but good find." You know what I mean? And Helen had noticed this post by Henry, so she commented on it. "If this is aimed at me, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just asking a few questions, okay?" And I was like, oh no, she's called him out. And he's like, "Well, surely," and this is what Henry put, again entirely in caps lock, "well, surely there are more appropriate groups to find the prices of stamps than this one." This caught me a bit weird. I mean, surely there isn't a more appropriate group for stamp collecting than a stamp collecting group. But I didn't say anything. I'm just a watcher. And then Julie replied with, I can't remember, something like, "Well, this is a stamp collecting group," pretty much what I said. "If it's hurting you, just don't comment on my posts or other people's posts." And there were a couple of other commenters commenting like, "Oh, she's new, leave her alone, Henry. Do you know what I mean? You're not perfect." Stuff like that. And I saw Henry quieting down, and then the rest of the day this went silent. But I was just sort of thinking about it because, you know, you don't expect there to be massive arguments in a group about stamp collecting. Anyway, later on in that day, it was still silent. A young member who must have been in his 20s, called Alex, commented, and it was very blunt in very bad English. "Fuck off, you old toad." No full stop or anything. I just went silent. I mean, it was refreshing quite a few times. It's the most interesting thing that's ever happened to me. Refreshing. And then all of a sudden, Helen liked it. The comment. Who had come to just liked it. Loved it, I think. And then Henry commented back, he noticed, and he said, "Now, I'm a quarter Welsh, so this was kind of I'm not going to repeat what was said, but it turns out that Alex was Welsh. Quite clearly, he'd got the Welsh sort of flag in his profile picture. Henry put something what I can describe as wildly racist to Alex in his reply, again in full Henry caps lock. It involved sheep and a leak. And it was very, 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 very violent and descriptive, and that was his reply. So the two of them then got into a very, very heated, slightly sexual insult sort of thing. I can't describe it without saying the words, and I don't want to say the words because I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to say them on YouTube. But this went on for 10 minutes with Helen in the middle liking all of Alex's posts all the way through. And finally, after the 10 minutes was up, one of the admins came in and said he thought that this was the most unbelievable argument that anybody's ever had in the UK stamp collecting group, and I believe him. It was intense. And he closed all the comments down for the page. I think Alex managed to get himself removed from the group entirely, and he must be devastated. There can't be that many stamp collecting groups, can there? But that happened, and I'm really sad that I didn't manage to get the screenshots before I finally figured out how to leave the group. It was too exciting for me. Can't deal with that. But yeah, so yeah, I left, and that is a little insight. And if you're like me, you probably don't know a lot about the stamp collecting world, but it seems to be quite an exciting one. So if anybody's interested in the dog eat dog world of stamp collecting, now's the time to join. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.